above you, obviously we have all the studio lights and the camera lights, and I'm going to show you a room where all of these kind of live. So they're all connected up in here, and then they actually go underground and under our carpet into this one equipment room, which I'll show you, which is pretty cool. This is Master Control, and you guys are probably all familiar with Master Control and what it does. So obviously this is the last place that our video goes before it goes out onto the airwaves. And there's someone in this room 24 hours a day. So they're making sure what we have on TV is exactly what we want on TV, that our audio is being projected at the right volume so we don't get fined by the FCC, that no one flips us off or takes their shirt off or anything like that. That network is happy that their shows are running and airing correctly and everyone looks great, and that our commercials are all placed in the specific position that our clients paid for, because they paid good money, right, to have their commercials on our air, and if it's cut off or doesn't sound right or doesn't look right, then we're held accountable. You guys, and obviously we back everything up digitally. We have a digital archive, but again, what happens if a computer crashes? Then we lose all of our video. So every newscast we also back up on beta tape. So this is everything that's ever aired on ABC 15 from the 1950s to now. Also is abc15.com, and obviously that is our website, which is a huge element to us. A lot of people don't have time to sit down and watch a newscast at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
Any kind of breaking news we do, any kind of traffic alerts or weather alerts, any cool sports stuff or photos that we see, we'll do a lot of retweeting, and so usually for those kind of things.
What did you guys think of that show? How is now different than your average newscast, do you think? Do you like it better, or do you prefer the traditional newscast? Or do you even watch a newscast?
Depends on the time of the day, actually. Like if I am like up in the morning, like, you know, at 6 o'clock to get ready for school, I like seeing the news. Like, right. I like knowing that's when I go into school, I have something to think about, or if I want to see what the weather's going to be like, I'll have it right away. Whereas, like, if I get home from school at, like, 2 o'clock, I'd like to see that, you know? Like, I like that more than I would like seeing, like, a bunch of boring news.
Have you guys always been interested in TV, and what attracts you to it the most?
Fourth grade, my principal came to me and said, we're going to do a video about the school. We take a week off, me and another classmate, and we got to interview students, faculty, and I just was bit by the bug. I was like, this is what I'm doing forever.
Oh, cool. So future journalists, huh? Yes. Nobody's warned you not to do this at all?
I mean, yes, they have.
They have? Well, I mean, you're in an interesting business because it's really changing, you know. And I think that's probably one of the things that I would say, if you're considering a career in journalism, is it's going to change. I mean, you know, it's changed drastically for me in 20 years, in 23 years actually that I've been doing it. You know, when I started, there was no internet. Literally was no internet. People your age, growing up, are used to getting your news in an entirely different way than your parents did, and certainly in an entirely different way than your grandparents did. I mean, growing up myself, when I was 16 years old, we had 3 channels on TV. We had no internet. We had none of that, and so people went to TV to get their news. And now, where do you go to get your news? Where do you check first? TV. Comedy Central? A lot of you do, actually. Yeah, my son is 15. He goes to Comedy Central. That's where he quotes all of his news stories from, and a lot of people do, because they don't necessarily trust all of these different forms of media, and that's one of the other challenges that we have, is that nobody, you know, there's so many different sources of media out there that nobody really looks at any one of them and says, well, this is the one, this is the reference standard for everything that there is. Even, you know, venerable institutions like the New York Times, Washington Post, you know, some of these media organizations that have been around for years and do really great journalism aren't necessarily the place that people go first to get their news, because it's everywhere.